So if you're posting on social media but you aren't getting any warm leads whatsoever, there's a big chance that you're doing the same mistake as I did. I've grown my personal brand to over 7,000 followers on LinkedIn over the years, but there is one big change that I'm implementing to my strategy moving forward, and that's why I wanted to make this video and share it with you. And it has everything to do with stop trying to go viral and start creating a movement. Alright, so let's get started. So everything I'm talking about on this channel has everything to do about how you can get more warm leads in your life. And the thing that I talked about just earlier is that you have to focus less on the numbers and focus a lot more on the engaging. So what I mean by this is that it's so easy to get blinded by, in the beginning, you start posting on social media, you get excited, you get more followers, you get more likes, you're seeing, a progress and you getting, one step closer to where you want to be. But the biggest problem that happens here is that you are measuring your success in the wrong things. Because speaking from experience, I've built my personal brand to over 7,000 followers on LinkedIn. A thing that I have caught myself in is that I'm just chasing and doing everything I can to get myself to the next thousands followers. So, I started, then I got my first 1,000, then I wanted to get to the next 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, 7,000, etc. And, when I got 7,000, I just wanted to chase myself to the next 8,000. And this is a very bad loop to be stuck in, to put the best words. Because what I'm focusing on is just like vanity metrics, and the number doesn't really matter. And of course, it's better to have 7,000 followers than having 500 if you get the same amount of likes or whatever you now want to measure. If you look at the percentage of followers you have. But the core thing that I want to talk about today that I think is very, very important, this is you have to focus on engaging, because what you really want here is you want to build a deep connection with your audience, because that will in the end get you more warm leads and that will give you more money. So that's what most people want, especially when you have 100% commission type of work. It's super important. The more leads, the more warm ones, the higher the hit rate you're gonna get, the more apartments you're gonna sell and stuff like that. So I think this is something very important to be aware of. And I just said before, I've been in a place where I focus too much on the wrong things, focusing on the likes, getting comments, only caring about getting myself to the next milestones. And what I really wanted to share is that a very bad thing that happens if you only operate in this kind of mindset is that you build a very shallow, audience. You build very shallow, relationships with your audience, which is in the end not going to lead to warm leads. As I said, that is no bueno. So that's not what we're trying to achieve here, and that's why I really wanted to make this video. So the biggest shift that I have done myself is to really being okay and understanding that it's much better to have 500 super fans than having 10,000 followers that don't even care about you. So this is a big shift I'm having myself, and I know that a lot of big creators out there that have millions of followers, but there's no way that they really can monetize their audience because they haven't built that too deep of a relationship with them. So this is a big change. This is a big shift that I'm seeing, and that's why I think this video is super important. And that's why I'm very fast on the ball here to change my direction for my brand and my strategy moving forward, and really doubling down on trying to engage more with my followers and the people that watch my content in different kinds of ways. Because I really believe that, as I said, it's so much better to have 500 followers that genuinely care about you, recommend you further, are super fans, rather than having 10,000 followers that don't even care about you. So that's really a big mindset shift that I'm having myself. I just wanted to share with you as well. And one very important thing as well is something that I wanted to call a reality check. And And this is very funny because I'm speaking with a lot of people that, you know, trying to build a personal brands, wanted to get some help. How should they approach things? And especially there are like many people that might watch this video for the first time and like, okay, I'm gonna create my, you know, business Instagram account, or, you know, starting your, you know, business account on Instagram, for example, and you start from scratch. And what that means is that you're going to have 0 followers and you have to, you know, really start from scratch. And that might not be the funniest of places, but you have to do it. And the thing that people get, you know, wrong is that, let's say that you start today. I'm gonna, you know, fresh start, new account. I'm starting from 0, and then in 1 week you might have 100 followers. And people might look at me like, well, Nicklas, you have 7,000 followers. That is so much more than 100. And that is very true. But the reality check here is that, okay, let's say you have 100 people. In my example now, I have 50. So let's say that you are, you know, speaking in front of 50 people. How would that make you feel? So you're up on stage, you're having a presentation, you're, you know, seeing 50 seats that are totally filled, and you're going to speak in front of them for, you know, 5, 10, 30 minutes, whatever it might be, right? Like, how would that make you feel? So a lot of people are like, oh, well, I might be a little bit nervous. You know, I will feel that is a lot of people to be speaking in front of. And, you know, I've been a victim of this myself. You know, some videos of mine, you know, 15 views, 100 views, that is where the range I'm currently at right now. And I'm just really trying to see is that, you know, I'm sitting here having a lecture for, you know, 50 people. That is a lot of people. So you really have to make this reality check and have this mindset shift, whereas 50 people is, you know, that is a lot of people. And let's say that, you know, you are growing your personal brand to, after a while, up to 700 followers. Now I want you to imagine the same place, you up on stage, but now instead of 50 people looking at you in the audience, it's 700. Like, that is a lot of people. So I'm very confident that very, very, very few of you watching this right now have been speaking in front of 700 people. So this is really a super important mindset shift to be having. And instead of seeing it as, you know, you comparing yourself with people having millions of followers, because that is really a bad place to be at, instead of focusing on those people that you have in front of you. Because in the end of the day, like, every single person that are following you and liking your things, it's another human being in front of that, you know, device, liking you, seeing your things. So we have to try to, you know, see it as comparing things to the real world. Like, if you see a person, you know, waving at you when you're strolling, you know, on the streets in the city, like, you're usually probably going to wave back, right? So that's the equivalent of them giving you a like, you wave back, you thank them, whatever. So I think it's very important to try to compare the online world to the real world, so you on a easier level can understand how everything works. So now, what's the blueprint? I think it's super important that in order to get more warm leads, you have to try to see the online world more as how the real world works. And what I mean by this is our 3 key steps. So first of all, I think it's very important to, you know, focusing on serving rather than telling. And what I really mean by this is that instead of just me sitting here speaking on a camera, I really try to, you know, speak in a way where I'm trying to be helpful. I try to, you know, put a message out there that is as helpful as possible, where I try to, you know, serve instead of just telling. So there's so many people out there like, you know, you're doing this wrong, you must do this. So it's like you are telling people what they should do instead of, you know, just trying to see things as, you know, well, I found this thing and it's worked very well for me, so that's why I wanted to share it, so it might work for you as well. So it's much better place to, you know, put your message out there in the world. So this is really the way I'm going to, you know, go about it myself. And the second thing is always, you know, already something we have talking about so far, but like, the goal is real and lasting connections. because it's so easy to, as I said, start building a personal brand, getting a lot of followers. But the more followers you get, the harder it is to build that deep connection if you aren't implementing this from start. So try to thank everyone that has been following you. It's almost as let's say that you are getting 6 people knocking on your door. They want to step into your home. You're having a party, you have invited them. They're now knocking on your door. They want to come in. Like, what are you doing? You're not just opening the door and running to another room. Usually people are, you go through the door, you open it, like you welcome them, big smile, feel at home, you make them, very comfortable. So you have to do this as well online. So for example, these are the things I'm trying to do to reinforce, good behavior. So to make very good examples here, let's say that you get a new follower on Instagram. You can see, well, you got a new follower. What do? You want to make them feel at home. You want to, make them comfortable. So you slide in their DMs and say, hi man, just wanted to thank you for following me. Please let me know if there's anything I can help you with. Is that top class service? It really is in my eyes. And for example, when, someone is liking your post, just slide in the DMs. What's up? I just wanted to thank you for, engaging in my last post. It really means a lot to me. Just want to wish you a great week. Simple things as that is reinforcing good behavior. And if someone comments on your post, be very fast and don't just say thank you man, blah blah blah. Really try to look at, okay, what has this person commented, and try to spend a few minutes crafting a very good response. Because as you can see here, it's the more time you spend in trying to craft and build and use your resources to make this relationship better, the more engagement you're going to get back. It's as simple as that. So this are some things that I'm really trying to approach myself in my strategy moving forward. And I have seen, the best in the game, they are doing this. Because it's very competitive out there. Social media, there's so much crap out there. AI things, so much noise, so much just entertainment things that are just, structured in a way where they're trying to do everything they can just to take up your time, while the thing you're consuming is absolutely crap and are not giving you any value whatsoever in your life to level up. So that's why I think it's super important to go the extra mile. And if you do these things that I've outlined in this video, I'm very certain that you're going to do very well. Don't forget to watch this video so you don't miss out on one very important principle in order for you to get more warm leads from social media. And it has everything to do with the amount of time that your potential client spends with you.